Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable Podcast. We are here recording episode 140, and today we are talking about what you will live or die by in China, which is also known as WeChat, which is a social media app that everyone uses in China. If you have any Chinese friends to our listeners who don't live in China, I guarantee you if you ask them about WeChat, they will have lots to tell you. It is a very useful, convenient, and interesting app that is the end-all of be-all of social media apps here in China. And we're going to talk all about it today and inform all of you what it's like to use WeChat. So we're looking forward to bringing this episode to you today. And if you have a smartphone, go ahead and download WeChat, and you can try to follow along as we go today. But without further ado, I'm here to announce my co-host, the fellow with the most, my buddy Jared. What's going on, Jared?
Hello, the fellow without the WeChat. I am excited to hear about WeChat. I'm excited to talk all about it. My first tip before we even
spread a little love.
First tip for anyone wanting to get WeChat: if you're gonna do it, don't start signing up. Get nervous that you're gonna be hacked and that all the government's going to see all your information and back out, then later realize, that's stupid, and try to sign up again, because then they'll make you go through a lengthy security process that I have yet to be able to crack. And so I've blocked myself out of WeChat. But first, please let us know what's happening on WeChat. Tell us over on Instagram.
Spread a little love.
Untranslatable Podcast. Or Twitter. Untranslatable1, the number 1. You could follow us on those two things. You can email us on translatable.podcast@gmail.com. Our website, untranslatable.podcast.com. 5-star reviews.
Spread a little love.
On iTunes and Stitcher. Or you could check us out on YouTube, too. We exist there. We exist on most to all podcasting places. Hey, Chad, you live in China now. Every episode I do this whole...
Spread a little love.
And I say, follow us in all these places. Why don't we have a presence on WeChat?
That's a good question. I don't have a good answer for you yet. I'll have to figure that out. That's a very good question.
Figure it out. Chad means figure out a reason why he's not going to do it. I was just thinking about that the other day, that seems like a great idea.
I don't know what platforms are accessible here in China, because I've tried to download podcasts here, and I cannot download anything from the Apple Store other than apps.
Yeah,
so,
I understand that, but you could at the very least, make some sort of untranslatable podcast account. This is already too much work. Never mind. You're not going to do any of this.
I don't. Well, so here's the thing about WeChat. I guess you could make a separate WeChat account, but I think the way you would have to do that. They do have groups.
Okay.
They do have groups.
See, everyone listen to Chad right now. Listen to this. Chad is trying to find every possible way to say why this can't be done, rather than, how about we look at this on, how could we do this? It's all about, no, we couldn't do it because of this, couldn't do it because of that.
So we could make a group. That's one way to do it. I could, you don't have WeChat, so I could make a group. I've been denied
access.
We'll talk more about some of these features later, but there's this other thing called Moments on WeChat, and that's kind of like your Instagram story or your Facebook story. So that would be another way to post them there. I'm not sure how to flip through 2 different WeChat accounts. You can do that very easily on Instagram. I'm not sure how that works on WeChat. I've never tried to make another account. But now you've got me curious. So I'll have to see. You've got me curious.
I'm sure I have, Chad. I'm sure I have. For all of our Chinese listeners, get a VPN and find us on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube. Sorry. How has it been being back at school? Any fun developments happening there? Are you becoming one with your students more and more every day, learning about them? Growing?
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where I know now that I can't wait for students to volunteer. So I just call on them, or like we talked about a few episodes ago, I will make them pick a student, which I know is
Yeah,
Jared's ultimate
that's evil.
favorite.
That's evil.
Hey, at least then I'm not the one being the evil one picking. They have to pick.
that's genius.
My favorite thing to do, though, is I'll ask my students, I'll say,
Pit them
pick a
against
color.
each other.
And I'll say, pick a color. And they'll usually look at their partner sitting next to them. And then, like, you know, if we were sitting next to each other, I'm wearing black right now. And if Jared was like, well, Jared is too. Or if Jared was like, the color's black. If we're both wearing the color and you're the one that says pick black, I will always pick you. Because I'm like, you tried to.
Because I'm extra black.
you try to. Because with my students, when they do that, they're obviously picking on the classmate sitting next to them. But if they're wearing that same color, I'll be like, oh, convenient. You're wearing black. What's your answer? And then the whole class erupts in laughter.
This has turned into some sort of sick game just to get students to participate. I understand why.
Yep.
But,
it's fun.
You like it?
I love it. It's so much fun. Oh, yeah. It's so much fun.
I feel like it'd be kind of annoying.
Well, I try to think of other things to pick on other than just color. So sometimes I'll say, okay, long or short hair, or I'll say boy or girl. And the funny thing is, I always ask the girls, boy or girl. And most of my classes, I only have like 3 or 4 boys, and the girls always pick boy, which is funny because in most of my classes, 1 or 2 of the guys are very talkative, like they'll talk without me picking on them. Otherwise, or calling on them. I shouldn't say picking on them, calling on them. But then there are a lot of girls who are more talkative than the guys, which is interesting because at least in the States, when I've taught, and well, the Czech Republic is an unfair representative because I had way more guys than girls in my last teaching job. But in the States, I feel like a lot of dudes tend to be more vocal in class. Not that they have better ideas than the girls, because I don't think they necessarily do.
I wouldn't say definitely. That's rude, but
yeah,
yeah.
But for some reason, I think there's a societal thing, at least in the United States, where like a lot of men feel like they have to, and there's been research done on this in classrooms,
and
like
I think
guys
in general,
tend to be more vocal.
Dudes in general have more unearned confidence. I think just in general.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
without a doubt. But anyways, so I am becoming more one with my class, as Jared initially asked. That's for sure. Getting more into the flow of things. I mean, we are on week 7 of classes here, so should be about that time. I will say I have learned that I try to have my students email me their previous homework assignment. And dude, because my internet is so slow, it takes forever for me to grade these homework assignments. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to kill a lot of trees for my next homework assignments and have them send me bring in the hard copy, the paper printouts of their homework.
Yeah, but I don't think that's your fault.
But I do have some questions for you today, Jared.
Okay.
Some of these you might not be able to answer, but I think it'd be curious to get your take on them anyways. So the first good question...
You get these questions from your, you call it like a language. You don't call it a language table, but like your conversation table that you do with students. And you allow them to either anonymously or not submit a question. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So they give me slips of paper, and so some of them write their name, some of them don't. I told them both are fine. So my first question for you, Jared, I was asked by a student, and this one for you will be difficult to answer, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are after the things that I have told you about China. So they asked me, what are the biggest differences you've seen between the United States and China?
Sleeping. People sleep in more random places in China. I remember that story.
Yes, they do.
The biggest differences. I'd just rather hear that from you. Like, I can make some guesses, but I'd rather hear it from you.
Make a couple guesses, and I'll tell you about your guesses.
Food.
Definitely food. They eat everything here. Yeah.
The biggest differences. I mean, your ability to communicate.
Right. And I would also say the perceived level of English. Like, I think it was funny. I told a lot of people when I was coming to China, they're like, oh, you'll be fine. You know, lots of people in China will speak English. You would be surprised how many people, either they can speak it and they don't, or they don't speak it. And I think some of it has...
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Have you noticed
think
something similar to? This is not my fault, everyone. Okay. Uh, have you noticed something similar to Czech Republic, where like they just don't want to?
Here, it's hard for me to tell that because there were instances where people said they didn't speak English, and then I was with a Czech person, and then like the Czech person left for a minute, and then they said something to me in English, and then I was like, oh, you speak really good English. So I haven't had that experience here yet, but we'll see. We will see. I doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
what were we talking about? Stuff in China?
Bless you, Chad. I was
Thank
going
you.
to. We're talking about your impressions of the differences between China and the U.S. And I gave you some of my guesses.
Right. Oh yeah, we were talking about English in China. So the other big thing about English in China is that I think a lot.
No, you said the difference between China and the U.S. I thought.
Yeah. But we were talking about. You mentioned the Czech Republic and people
speaking English in China, right? Okay. I'm sorry.
Speaking English in China, exactly. So speaking English in China, I think is another issue. Is that in the school system in the past, reading and writing and grammar were way more emphasized. So I think a lot of Chinese people do have a basic reading level in English, but being able to speak and communicate is a whole different skill.
Right.
And some other big differences that I've seen, obviously, is censorship here in China is a pretty big thing. There's a lot of stuff that's not accessible that we in the West are used to accessing, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all of that stuff. So, but there are Chinese equivalents to a lot of these, and I will tell you that WeChat covers a lot of the bases of things like Instagram, Twitter, and
have you heard
Facebook.
of Weibo? Weibo?
I have.
Oh.
I have heard of Weibo. Yeah,
I've been doing my research.
I like that, Jared. Yeah, Weibo is also another social media platform.
But they don't say bo, I heard. They say like Weibo, like they kind of like, I can't do it, but they don't just say oh like we do.
They don't, no. And I haven't heard a Chinese person say it. I've only heard Americans say it. So I'm used to hearing Weibo.
Weibo.
So, right. So who knows? But yeah, it could be fun too in the future to do an episode of some Chinese social media equivalents, because they have Youku, which is the Chinese version of YouTube, which is pretty cool. They have a website called Bilibili, which you can like stream stuff. I've watched The Office on there. So it's pretty interesting, the different stuff that you have here.
So
but today we'll focus more on WeChat.
They allow The Office in China.
Well, it's on the website Bilibili, and it hasn't been taken down. So
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know enough about the censorship rules and how all that stuff works,
Right.
to really tell you much about it. But let's go back to some questions from students. So the big one that I thought was very interesting was the biggest differences between the U.S. and China. But I will also say that on a people-to-people level, I think that, like, yes, in Chinese culture, like, the way people interact with one another is a little bit different than in the States. But I think at the end of the day, like, on a people-to-people level in most cultures and countries, we're all very similar. At the end of the day, we all want similar things. We want tasty food. We want to live a comfortable life. We want our friends and family to be happy. So, yeah.
In the words of Joanna Jenkins, ain't no color but the blues.
That's true. That is very true. So let me give you another question,
Oh,
Jared.
yes, please.
What is your, and this one was difficult for me to answer. What is your favorite American food?
I don't think my favorite American food, because I like pizza a lot.
Right.
I like ramen a lot. I like falafel.
Neither
a
of those
lot,
are American.
but
Yep,
none of
also
those
not
are American things.
Right.
Although I'd argue not the ramen, not the falafel. I'd argue on the pizza.
Well, yeah, I think pizza now, the way it is in America, is so different than
We
pizza
definitely
in
have
Italy,
our
without a doubt.
own very big pizza market here in the U.S. that's barely based on the Italian pizza. I
Jet's
would say.
Pizza? Jet's Pizza?
I like Jet's Pizza. Sometimes though, it's a little too much for me.
Okay.
Like but I do like it. Let's be clear. It's probably one of the top sort of trash pizza places, I would call it. Trash pizza is not a great way to explain it, but like
That is not a great
fast food pizza, I would say.
Yeah,
Fast
I
pizza.
love Jets. Right.
You do love Jets, and I love it because that's really the only time I eat it too. So it's always a nice treat. Favorite American food? Barbecue. Can I say like barbecue?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
definitely
great
American.
answer. That's as America gets right there. There's some good old barbecue. Do you know what mine is, Jared? What I told the students?
Chicken nuggets. That's a good one too.
No,
actually.
no, that is a good one, but no. Mine is rooted in Michigan, Jared.
Apple pie. No. Rooted in Michigan. Cherries? No, you don't like cherries like that.
I do like cherries.
Not like that.
I mean, they're-
not enough to
right.
call it your. Rooted in Michigan.
We have a franchise. We have a bunch of different
Coney
food
dog.
places. There we go, Coney dogs.
Okay, yeah, the famous Coney Island here in Michigan. I didn't realize that was your favorite food. Wow.
It's not my favorite food. It's my favorite American food.
Right. Okay. Did you enjoy? I
Yeah.
mean, that's a good one because that's a great food to explain to foreigners. Well, they're not.
Oh, I
foreigners.
showed them pictures.
People not from the U.S.
Right. I showed them pictures.
and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what?"
It's so funny though, dude, because when I show my students stuff, they all simultaneously will be like, "Whoa!" It's so funny. Like I showed them a
Like you're
picture
from Mars.
yesterday, right? I showed them a picture of Neil Young yesterday in class because we were talking about words or famous people with the name that begins with N. And so I thought of Neil
Patrick
Young,
Harris?
you know. Oh, and they know him too. How I
Yeah,
Met
he's
Your
very
Mother is pretty
popular.
popular here. Okay, good. I need to have you in my classes,
Nancy
Jared.
Pelosi.
You need. Oh, there we go. All right.
Although you might not want to get political.
But yeah. So, anyways, I showed them a picture of Neil Young, and same reaction. They were all just like, "Whoa," because I guess they're not used to seeing like long-haired music dudes. I don't know. But yeah. So, anyways, that was a good one. Favorite American food.
Yeah, that's
this
a great
was
one.
This was a funny one.
Can I ask you first? Did
Yeah,
you ask
yeah.
any of them, like if they have a favorite American food?
Oh, I'm going to tonight.
Okay.
That's a great idea. Oh, that is a perfect idea. Because
Man.
what they'll tell me probably is like KFC, Burger King, like something like that.
I mean, that's a good
hamburger.
answer. And KFC is huge
Yeah.
there, so it makes sense.
KFC is pretty good here. I really like it here. Other than
From
their
what I've heard-
durian-filled chicken nuggets.
From what I've heard, you brought those up like 4 times.
Right?
From what I've
Right.
heard, like the Asian market KFCs in general are better than even the American ones, just because there's
Oh, yeah.
way more demand, and so they get more like there's just more going on there, better
Right.
menus.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, at least in China?
I would agree with that, and I think the food is way less greasy. Like I can't eat KFC in the States. I don't like it. That
No
is
one
not
really
my
go-
go-to
but
fast food place.
That's not the fast food chicken place for anyone, or in the U.S.
Is it Popeyes?
I would say so. I'm not.
Chick-fil-A?
I've only been to Popeyes a few times on like road trips, but
Okay.
I mean, Chick-fil-A and Popeyes are the huge ones, and
Right.
Popeyes is probably huge only because one, it's open on Sundays, and I think it's more everywhere than Chick-fil-A is. Anyway,
Right.
what else did you
That's
get?
true. This was a funny one. This one made me laugh when I read it. Which country has the most gorgeous women?
Oh, see, that's another one
It's
of
a
those
trap.
like
That's a
another
trap.
one of those like, would you marry a Chinese woman?
A Chinese
questions?
girl, right?
See, I don't even want to.
And
Take this
it really depends on your taste.
That's that is very subjective.
If you're into like blonde-haired, blue-eyed women, I'd say pick a Scandinavian country, and you're probably gonna find some gorgeous women. If you're, I mean, it really depends. If you're into Asian women, there's a whole bunch of different countries you could pick. But I will definitely say I think Chinese women for sure look very different than Japanese women and Korean women. Like
That's
when
a bold
people
statement, Chad.
Well, when people say all Asian people look the same, I'm like, have you actually been to an Asian country? Because they definitely don't.
Yeah, I'll say this. Yeah, I'll say it. They do say that people of different races, there is some not I don't want to say it's true because it's not, but there is some scientific validity to that from what I've heard, that like people do struggle to recognize faces different than theirs. So
That's
like
true.
there is some validity to that, but obviously the whole saying they all look the same is stupid. But
And slightly
Let's
racist,
make that clear.
but yeah.
Let me just make that clear.
Right.
I agree. Racist and dumb.
Now, I will say this, though, Jared, that I've also read that people of different races or ethnicities oftentimes will find people that don't share the same nationality or ethnicity or race more attractive because if you have I don't know what the politically correct term is here, so I'm just going to say it. If you have a mixed race or ethnicity baby, generally the babies tend to be a lot healthier.
And better looking.
That's true. That is true. So
Healthier in the looks department? Is that what you mean?
sure, why not? Why not? So, anyways, so my students asked me this question: which country has the most gorgeous women? I started laughing because I was like, oh man, like how do I even answer this one? So I said,
that's
look,
a trap.
right. I said, look, I don't have one where I think they have the most gorgeous women, but for me, like the countries that came into my mind were Brazil. Brazilian women are absolutely beautiful. I have some friends from Brazil.
That's a classic answer. That one comes up a lot.
Having spent a year in the Czech Republic, I mean, I have a very, very large respect for the beauty of Czech women. Czech women are absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
And so I gave those two. I said Brazil and the Czech Republic. And they looked a little disappointed. I didn't say China. But there are a lot of really beautiful women here. I mean, look, there are beautiful women everywhere. I don't think you can really pinpoint and say where the most gorgeous women are from. And it depends on taste, you know? What kind of ladies do you like?
Yeah. I agree with that. Are those all the questions you got?
No, I got a couple more for you.
Oh, please. Okay.
This next one, and we've here. Well, this is a good one, and I didn't really know how to answer this one, so I gave them a very watered down version of my answer, which was, "What are university parties like, and how often do you have them in the U.S.?" I couldn't tell them that a lot of people in the States in college drink every weekend. I wasn't about to tell them that.
Every weekend. And during the week too. What are you talking about?
And Wednesdays or Thursdays,
yeah,
right?
It was like
Right.
Wednesdays and Thursdays are also, usually one or two of those days are also pretty well known for people going out.
Right.
So what did you tell them? Because I mean, obviously I know the answer to that question, but
Right. So what I told them was, I told them that, I explained that I was in a fraternity and opened that conversation up to like what Greek life is. Jared's wearing our letters. He's hiding them. But yeah.
I don't.
DTD,
I try not
Delta
to
Tau
bring them
Delta. And so basically what I explained was I think we were allowed to have like one or two official parties per semester. I think that sounds about right.
Okay, yeah.
Something like official ones, not like
I don't
just
remember how many
impromptu.
it was.
Right.
I feel like
we
it was
had
2 or 3, but maybe
right. Because we had America Party. I remember at least our last year, we had America Party in the fall, and we always had Hawaiian Party in the spring.
right. And we had. I feel like we must have had one more in there somewhere.
Probably. But so I explained that. I talked to them about Halloween parties in college and how awesome and crazy they can be.
Did you explain why they were crazy? The idea of the costume choices and
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I explained to them how like there are like usually there's like I feel like Halloween costumes can be broken down into 3 categories. You have your
racist.
scary. Oh, okay, 4 categories. You have your racist costumes, which you're right. You're right. Like
There's always a couple black faces that come out every
God.
Halloween.
or a couple or a couple Native Americans with the feather headdress. It's
I was just trying to respect a culture.
right. Or you got your guy in your poncho and your sombrero.
Or you
with
get
the
like a geisha or
mustache.
something like that.
Right. So yeah, you have the racist costumes. You have your scary costumes. Some people go all out and like are pretty scary, like it's some
Right,
type of
with the blood
monster
and-
or zombie. Right. Then you have like your funny costumes, like Like you always see somebody's in a banana costume or a hot dog costume.
Or
Somebody
some sort
is
of like
usually.
pun, or
Right.
something like
Right.
that.
Right. And then you also have your sexy costumes.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
And I thought
Both
about
men
this
and
for
women,
a
by the
while.
way.
Exactly.
Because there's
That's
like
what
the
I was
togas, for example.
Right.
Or like maybe
like
someone goes as
300.
Tarzan or something like that.
Right,
Wearing a
right.
loincloth.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But obviously,
And-
there's the classic like nurse and stuff like that as well. Or
Right,
like
sexy
I'm a
nurse.
cat or whatever.
Or
It's
sexy
like you're wearing,
police
like-
officer.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I explained like Halloween parties to them, which was fun. Unfortunately, we will not be doing next week is the week before Halloween, isn't it? Or next week is Halloween. Breaking the fourth wall here. So maybe I'll have to do a little Halloween themed little bit in my lesson next week.
Are you going to dress
see.
up for Halloween?
I will be going to Beijing and I will be going to a Halloween party, so you better believe it.
You're going to a Halloween party. Oh,
Yep.
this is how I find
Yep.
out about things, huh?
Exactly.
Like you're just supposed
exactly.
to like update me about every aspect of your life as soon as it happens. Hey, Jared, I made a plan. 2 weeks I'm going to be in Beijing. Thank you, Chad. Add it to our
Right.
joint calendar.
Right. Right. But yeah, so it's always interesting though to me when they ask questions about social life, because I'm going to be honest, I don't think my students have much of a social life. Like I think
That's
they
the
study.
vibe I'm starting to get.
Yeah, they study and they study some more. And then after they're done studying, they study.
There's
Like,
not a
it's
lot
crazy.
of like hanging out happening.
I think the students that have more of a social life are the ones that like are involved in some type of club. Like I have some students who are super into basketball, super into soccer. But like the students that I know that play an instrument, they're like, yeah, like I left it at home because I don't have time. And that just, as a musician, that just like hurts my heart. Like,
Yeah.
just bring it with you and play for 10 minutes. You know, it's,
Right.
But yeah. Anyways, we'll save other questions
there's not
for
a lot of
later.
partying
Yeah.
definitely happening. That's for sure.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So they don't like socially drink like we do here in the U.S.
I think they do, but I don't really think they do that much in college. I could be wrong because I don't go
Interesting.
out with my students.
Right. What's the drinking age?
Good question.
I mean, you're whatever it is, you're old enough, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
I don't really
It's
know if
32.
they have. I don't know if they have a set drinking age here. I'm not really sure.
China.
I'm really not sure.
drinking age. I'm googling
We'll
it
find
right
out
now.
very soon.
18.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense because I think you have to be 18 to get into clubs in China. I think.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that would make
Yeah,
sense.
standard.
Well, I'll save the other questions for another episode, Jared. Now I think it's time
Sounds
to.
good.
Spread a little love.
Yes.
So I've been spreading a lot of love to, in my opinion, the GOAT of basketball, which for my generation is Michael Jordan. LeBron's great, but I grew up watching Michael Jordan. And this next one goes out to Michael Jordan because he has unveiled that he has funded a medical clinic in Charlotte, North Carolina, which will offer cares to those who are uninsured or underinsured. The Novant Health Michael Jordan Family Medical Clinic, the first of 2 medical clinics funded by the NBA legend and Charlotte Hornets owner, will offer Charlotte residents primary
Charlotte
and
Hornets? I did
preventative
not know that.
care. What?
I didn't know he owned the Charlotte Hornets. Sorry.
Yep. Will offer Charlotte residents primary and preventative care as well as additional comprehensive care, including behavioral health and social support services, according to a news release. Jordan gave an emotional speech at its grand opening on October 17th. The 6,800 square foot state-of-the-art clinic operated by Novant Health includes 12 patient exam rooms, an x-ray room, and a space for physical therapy. So we want to
That's
thank
great.
you, Michael Jordan, for
You betcha.
really helping out the community. I mean, this is such a big help. And it really shows, unfortunately, the problem we have with healthcare in the States where we need celebrities and legends who are millionaires to fund these types of things when we could probably fund these things if our government would finally find a
Prioritize
way.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's weird to me that healthcare in the States is viewed more as a priority than just a basic human right.
You
Even though in
privilege
our
is what you
bill,
meant to say. You said
or
priority.
thank you. Yes, sorry, privilege. Yeah, it's not a priority. It's the opposite of a priority. Yeah, because I mean, isn't it in our Bill of Rights that say like the pursuit of happiness? And I would say that health definitely has to do with the pursuit of happiness in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'm happier when I'm healthy for sure.
Absolutely.
Especially, it's also especially crazy because of like the wide disparity of like I have great health insurance. I went to the eye doctor today. I walked in and out, didn't pay for anything, and and got exam and glasses. And then there's people on the, there's some people in between that could get, just the exam and not the glasses, which I think is okay. And then there's people that can't have to pay for all of it. And it's just the wide range of that you could fall into does seem a little ridiculous for a country that claims to be one of the greatest.
Oh, absolutely.
But it is great to see people like Michael Jordan stepping up like that. Hey, what did you think of what he said about Steph Curry? Did you hear about that?
No, what did he say?
He said Steph Curry does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame yet.
Really? Okay. How many NBA titles does Steph Curry have? Doesn't he have 6? He's 5 or 6 for sure.
already?
I thought so.
I thought it was 4 or 5.
Maybe it's only 5.
NBA.
Oh, it's probably 5 because they blew it against the Raptors last season. It's probably 5.
Okay. Oh, he has 3, they say.
Oh, he only has 3. Okay, wow. Really, only 3 championship rings?
Maybe. Hold on. See, now I got to figure this out.
That doesn't sound right.
3-time NBA champion, 2015, 17, and 18.
Okay. Huh. I thought he won. Well, when he's got 6, then I think he can he can start talking. If we're holding him to the Michael Jordan gold standard here. Interesting. I didn't hear about that. Then again, I am so disconnected with everything going on in the States right now. Like it's basically ignorance is bliss, Jared. That's all I can say. You get your
American news a little slower than I'm probably getting it.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Mostly because it's probably coming from me.
Right. Correct. So my next shout out though, Jared, goes out to a game designer and CEO named Lual Mayan, who was a refugee, and the story is pretty amazing. So he was a refugee and learned how to do game design in a refugee camp. His mother saved up for 3 years to buy him a laptop, and he would walk over 50 miles to the nearest internet cafe to charge his laptop and then walk back to the refugee camp. And this guy's story is amazing. So now he is a CEO and has launched his company, I believe it's pronounced Junub Games, and he is still working on finishing the latest product, a game called Salam, which means peace in Arabic for our non-Arabic speakers out there. And the game is all about life as a refugee. And so the game's version adopts the role of a refugee who must flee falling bombs, find water, and gain energy points to ensure the character's survival as the player's country journeys from a war-torn present into a peaceful existence. If the player's character runs out of energy, the player is prompted to purchase more food, water, and medicine for their character with real-world money. The funds go beyond the game to benefit a living refugee through Junub's partnerships and with various NGOs. Salam exists in a distinctive category in the gaming world, but experts believe this can have a legitimate impact on conflict resolution as the game industry grows. More than 8 in 10 teenagers say they own a gaming console or have access to one, and 90% of teens say they play video games on a computer, game console, or cell phone. Gaming is becoming a ubiquitous way that people are interacting with each other. When you have those moments of teaching people how to interact in a civil manner, in a respectful manner, in a way that promotes peace and conflict resolution versus tearing the world apart, this is where peacemaking will start. So I think this is really amazing. It's a very innovative design for the game. Yeah. And I just loved hearing the story of Lual Mayan, and it's really, really amazing. So we send our love and a big shout out to Lual Mayan.
You betcha. If it's a good game, like companies that make like games make serious money off of in-app purchases. Like Fortnite makes a crap ton of money, or like Candy Crush. Those games make crazy money off of in-app purchases, and it would be nice to actually see. It would be nice to actually see that money go to something good.
Absolutely.
And especially since he's already like rich, it's not like he's using that to. So yeah, I think that's a great way to do something good and fun for the world.
Absolutely. Well, Jared, I think you know what time it is.
Oh, I do. Oh yeah, right on time. Actually, 7 minutes away from what it would, from it actually going off at your mom's house or your parents' house.
That's true.
I guess I'll start. Sure. My first one is Portuguese. Ter muita lata.
Which means?
A rotten face.
Is this like
Or
if
you
you're
could also... Sorry.
Is this
What were you
like
about
if
to
you're a
say?
sore loser?
No.
No. Okay.
Or you can also say this is the same or different untranslatable same meaning. Cara podre means...
Which means?
Has a lot of cans. Also means the same thing.
Has a lot of cans and rotten face. I'm not seeing the correlation here. Can you give me a clue?
We were talking about partying early in the U.S., and I think from what I've heard about your students in...
Oh, wait. Does this mean to get drunk?
No.
Okay.
From what I've heard from your students, I think it would be a challenge for them to go to like a fraternity party that we might be used to, because in comparison to your Chinese students, a lot of the American college students have a rotten face or have a lot of cans, you might say, and are willing to get drunk, take off pieces of clothing, dance provocatively because they have a rotten face.
So is this like they're really busy or stressed and they have to let loose?
No, I'm talking about no. Oh, you think what? No, that doesn't even make any sense to what.
Okay. What is
shameless.
it?
Shameless.
Shameless. Okay. No shame. All right. Interesting. My first one for you today is Russian, and it is Tianut kota za hvost, which means pulls a cat's tail. He pulls a cat's tail.
And it's probably not what I'm thinking. The U.S. Are you pulling my leg? Untranslatable.
No, definitely not.
Which means like, are you messing with me or
right,
lying to me?
Right.
So yours was. Can you give me your translation again?
He pulls a cat's tail.
He pulls
or
a cat's
to pull
tail.
a cat's tail.
Okay, so it's not like someone that's lying. Like you're a liar.
Has nothing to do with lying.
Is it someone that's like lazy and just like has nothing better to do with their day?
You're getting really warm. You're getting really warm. So if you're a lazy person, what might you do if you have a lot of work to do?
Oh, it's to procrastinate.
There we go. Very good.
Okay.
Yeah. To pull a cat's tail is to procrastinate.
Brilliant.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, that's great. Okay. My next one is Indonesian, and it's tahi lalat, and it's flying poo. Oh, excuse me. Fly poo, excuse me.
Fly poo. Okay.
And like the animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this like when something is very insignificant, doesn't matter?
No, it's something physical.
Something physical. Fly poo.
And it's
Fly
not
poo.
fly poo.
Something physical. Give me a clue, Jared. Give me a clue.
It's on someone's body.
Is it freckles?
Very close, but no.
Moles.
There you go.
Oh, interesting. Okay, moles are fly poo. Okay. Nice to mole you. I mean, meet you. There's a little Austin Powers
Holy
reference for
moly.
Austin. All right. Like some guacamole. All right. My next one for you is also Russian, and it is vynosit is izby, which means to take the litter out of the house. To take the litter out of the house.
It's like getting rid of the bad energy. No, it's like
Nope.
can you take the litter out of the house? Is it to like break up with someone?
No. No, but I would say breaking up with somebody might happen if you take the litter out of the house.
You got to give it to me.
This means to argue about private things or discuss private things in public. To take the litter out of the house.
That's a good one. Okay.
It is, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, it's like airing your what is it?
Your dirty laundry. Yeah, airing your dirty laundry. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's the English untranslatable for that.
Right.
Do you have a Chinese one for us?
Of course.
Okay. Please go ahead, because I have another one, but I have a lot of WeChat stuff I want to talk about.
Okay. All right, so should we end with the Chinese one today?
Please, yes.
Okay. So this one is, all right, let me look at the pinyin here. Yuan mu Cui yu. I probably said that wrong, but it is climbing a tree to catch a fish.
It's like you're doing too much, essentially. It's like you're over exaggerating, or you're making a mountain out of a molehill almost.
Nope. This one means it is a lost cause.
Oh,
a lost cause.
Okay.
Yeah,
that works too. That totally makes sense. All right.
So let's talk about WeChat, Jared.
Speaking of lost causes, me getting on WeChat.
Right. Well, I think if you would have just signed up all at once.
For sure. I think that's definitely the problem. I think the reason, so what I had to do, and this is not what I want to talk about, but I'll just say real quick. What I had to do was get someone to, because I tried to log in, then I changed my mind, and then when I realized we were going to do this episode days later, I tried to sign up for it before we talked about doing this episode. Mm-hmm. But then, I just now what's the point? Then I heard we're going to do the episode. I'm like, all right, well, I should at least see what it's all about. And I saw that I had to go through a security thing. And what I had to do is either have someone that has WeChat scan a QR code I had that they gave me, which I couldn't do. I don't know a coworker with WeChat, but it felt weird to ask her to, because she does a business with China. But I'm like, I'm not going to ask you to hit my QR code. The problem is, she probably wouldn't have been able to.
You just needed someone to you just needed someone to scan your QR code?
Yes.
And you're telling me this now?
Yeah.
You could have sent me a screenshot of your QR code and I could have scanned it here.
Oh yeah, I didn't think how to do that though, because it's like, well, what is he gonna scan it with the same phone that he's
No, I could. That totally worked.
You can scan it with your phone that it's on the screen of.
Well, no. So I would put it up on like
like your computer or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or I have two phones. Two phones.
Oh, I don't realize I forgot you have two phones and stay at the Shangri-La Hotel. And
that's
require,
right.
First
That's right.
Class
Ballin',
train
Jared.
tickets.
Ballin'.
But yeah, I didn't even think about that.
But that's a good thing to start with, though, Jared. Is the fact that in China you see QR codes everywhere, and it's for three reasons. It's for WeChat Pay, Alipay, which is from AliExpress, which is huge
Alibaba
company. Yeah, Alibaba. And there's another one, but I'm not sure what the other one is. But I've seen three different QR codes here in China. WeChat Pay is great. I just got mine set up last week. And so the way it works, I'll kind of walk you and the listeners through this, Jared. So on your WeChat, you have on the bottom corner, you'll have chats, which is like your messages. Then you have your contacts, which is your contact list. Then you have Discover. And Discover is pretty cool because if you look, I'll describe this for the people in a moment, but I'm showing Jared. So the way Discover works is you have moments, and moments are like your Facebook or Instagram stories. I have a couple moments on mine. Then you have, yeah, go ahead.
Does WeChat show you how many people follow you and how many people you follow?
I'm not sure. I can see on my moments how many people liked my moment, but I'm not sure. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Because at least on the U.S. social media accounts, the U.S., I mean, they're global, but
Right.
the American ones, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, how many people you follow and or friends you have, or how many people follow you is, is one of the biggest parts of it, essentially.
Well, okay. So I'm looking at my contact list to see, and yeah, I couldn't tell you how many people I
Interesting.
have.
Interesting.
I couldn't tell
Well, see,
you.
the fact that you'd even have to look that hard is kind of proving my point. Like on all the social
Right.
media accounts that I use, you don't have to look for it, you know?
Right. Exactly. But anyway, so in the discover section of WeChat is great. So you have your moments, then you have scan. And the scan, this is where you scan the QR codes. So your own WeChat account has its own QR code. So that's how people can just scan your own personal QR code and they can add you, which is pretty cool. I'm surprised we don't do this with Western social media. I don't know why we don't, because it's really cool. I've become a fan and a believer of WeChat. I really like it. But then also, so you can not only scan QR codes, but you can scan. When you go to scan, there's also a translate section. And this has become a lifesaver for me because you literally will hold your phone up to whatever you need to translate, and it will take a picture and it will translate it for you. So when I go to restaurants,
So you use WeChat for translating?
I do.
I
I've stopped
assumed
using.
you were using Google.
I was, and Google Translate is like the only thing here in China that I know of that's Google related
That works. Okay.
Yes, and so Google Translate does work. Google Translate works. So I use that to translate stuff.
Okay. All right. We're going to get back to this. I want to talk about just some general things about WeChat. WeChat is China's biggest social media account, social media service, and they do way
Platform.
more than just, yes, thank you. They do way more than just connecting people. It's also, what I've heard is that there's only messaging, there's no video chat. Or
no, you can
like
do video
calling.
chats.
Oh.
You can do video chats
Okay.
and calling.
There are, do you know how many users there are every month?
Every month, I'm not sure, but I think overall there's over over 6 billion people using WeChat, aren't there?
Okay. Well, every month, maybe. I have monthly users.
Okay.
There are 1.132 billion people use it at least once a month. 902 million people use it every day.
Okay.
And I was talking to the same coworker I was telling you about. She does work in China, so she travels to China every now and again. And this WeChat Pay thing is very serious because I was telling her how you, my friend Chad, uses it for like you were really like people were looking at you funny when you were trying to pay cash for things. And she said
Right.
that she was going to places where they didn't even have like a way to take her credit card. She's like, "Wow!" They're like, "What are we supposed to do with this?" There are 6.1 billion voice messages sent on WeChat each day.
Yep.
The
That doesn't
average
surprise
amount
me.
of time WeChat users spend on it daily. What do you think? How much do you spend on WeChat every day?
Well, that's changed a lot, and I'll tell you about it off the pod.
Because you started to have people you're talking to on there. Essentially, is what you're getting at.
Right. So now I use it. Well to talk to people. I also have groups for my students because like Chinese students aren't great at like checking their email frequently because they all use WeChat here. Like it's funny.
Right.
I think
Email's
in China
kind of annoying.
well, the interesting thing is I think China went from like non-smartphones, just your regular mobile phones, to like smartphones and then WeChat immediately.
Right.
And so I don't think there was like this. We've had, I think, a slower growth in the United States, at least, of all these different social media apps and stuff. And so we were using emails more frequently in the past, whereas I don't think they were using them as much here. And so what that means, though, is that I have WeChat groups for my classes, so they can write me questions. I make them use the group in class, so I'll be like, all right, post your ideas in the WeChat group, because all my classes are over 40 students. So
Right.
I can hear from them in real time and read it and give them feedback immediately.
Interesting. Is that the
yeah,
first
so
time
it's a lot
you've
of fun.
used technology in the classroom like that?
Well, I've had
Like
students
interactively with.
I've had students use their smartphones in the past, like to play games, but never
Right.
really discussions via a smartphone like that.
Yeah,
no.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
14
But how? Oh,
million.
your question. Sorry, I didn't answer your question. Your question was how?
Oh, right.
How many hours? So I would guess I'm probably on WeChat. I would guess now at least 4 hours a day.
Okay. Average amount of time WeChat users spend on it is 77 minutes.
Oh, geez.
now,
Okay,
obviously-
so I'm way above that. Okay.
Yeah, but that includes people that, maybe they're older people that, well, no, even older people use it for a bunch of stuff too.
Right.
Yeah, you have a problem, Chad.
I do.
Number of corporate WeChat accounts, 14 million, but once Chad gets around to making ours, 14 million and one. Number of people that use WeChat moments daily, 750 million.
Yep.
Average number of times users check their moments daily, 10 times.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The total number of times moments are checked each day, 10 billion. Percentage
Wow.
of corporate WeChat accounts that are active, 38%. That's not much. So yeah, there's just a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe as we go along, I'll drop in some other
Factoids.
things. Yeah. So you'd say the most used part of WeChat to you would be the messaging and the pay.
Messaging, pay, and also video calling.
Video calling. Okay. Okay. What are some other ones that you like? What are some aspects of it that you just like?
There's just so much cool stuff on WeChat. Like,
Have you
so
played
my
games?
I have not. There are
Okay.
games on there. I haven't played them yet because, as Jared knows, and maybe some of our listeners know, when I go out with my phone, I make sure I don't drain the battery.
Right, so that's a good point.
Because it's my lifeline. Now, around here, I feel less hooked to it because when I go out places, it's usually walking distance. So
Right,
if my phone
right,
were to
right.
die, I wouldn't be able to translate stuff, and I wouldn't really be able to communicate very much. But at
you
least
can
I
get
can
home.
get myself home, right? But when I'm in Beijing, I bring my portable battery, my portable charger with me everywhere because I'm like, I
not getting
need,
me.
I need it, right? Exactly. But anyway, so I really like the moments are really cool. Like I can get like kind of an insight into my students' lives a little bit.
They see
my
you see
friends
them,
as
though.
well. Yeah, and I can see when I post moments, I see who sees them
You
as well.
post moments?
I do. Here, you want to see my moments?
You don't even post Instagram stories here.
Because I can't. I can't
No, but
get
I
on
mean,
Instagram.
when you were here, you never really did. Like you might have done it like once a month.
Right. So I'll tell you.
I like
you
that
this,
you're getting
Jared.
into it though.
I'll tell you this, Jared. Like one second, let me find it here.
Do you find yourself
This is my social media outlet here in China, Jared.
right?
This is
I was
like
gonna
my
say,
one
do you find
outlet.
yourself like more into social media than you would be in the U.S.? I don't know how deep you were, like addicted you were. I mean, we
not
all are to
really.
a certain extent, but
Not really. But here, I'll scroll through my moments for you. So I sent you this picture, and I don't know if this has gone up on our Instagram, but this was in Xi'an.
no.
When
But
I
it
was
will. I mean,
with
yes,
the
to the
terracotta
people
warrior.
listening to this, yes.
Right. And so I said, made a new friend in Xi'an. Do I look like a warrior yet? So there was that one. Then had amazing time in Mongolia, learning from my colleagues and teachers. Glad to be back in China though to apply the new things I've learned. So that was like a picture taken of me on the
Oh, that's a good picture.
People Mover. I can send you these if you want to add these. I love China. This was on the
the way,
national holiday.
Always send
Yeah?
me pictures. Just never don't send me pictures if you have them.
That's
I will
fair.
always take them.
That's fair. This one,
People
I had
wanna
some
know what you're
Starbucks.
doing.
I had a Starbucks at the train station in Jinan, and I said, being basic on my way to Beijing.
You're pretty good. What the hell, Chad?
I guess I need to start screenshotting you my moments here, and you can
You're
make
good
them
at this.
Instagram moments.
Or at least
And then a
just
picture.
send me the picture and tell me and I'll put
What
it
I
on our
said?
Instagram.
Okay, all right.
Oh my gosh, these are
Happy
great.
to be
I
in such a
love those.
beautiful city.
I've seen that picture
So yeah,
before.
yeah. I sent you that
And the
one.
people have seen that picture too.
Right.
So I have a question.
And, yeah, go ahead.
No, please, go ahead. Say what you're about to say.
And then this is you can have a background photo of your moments. And so this is a picture I took inside this really cool traditional Chinese restaurant downtown in the old part of Jinan. And my colleague told me that character means like happiness. So I thought that was kind of cool. So
Get the tattoo.
So there you go.
Oh, jeez.
It turns out being chicken noodle soup or like pork dumplings or something.
In comparison to you're a big user here when you were in the U.S. and you had access to it. You were a big user of Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In terms of navigating, and it's a kind of a tough comparison because there's so much more going on in WeChat than there is, especially definitely in Instagram, but probably in even Facebook too, at least for what you're using, like what you used in Facebook. How easy is WeChat to navigate and get used to in comparison to those?
I think it's super easy. Although I did have a little snafu when I went to set up my WeChat Pay, because here in China, the names they list, it's last name and then first name. They list them the other way around. So when I went, I put in my card number, and like it said, the card number was recognized, but the name was not the same name in the system for the bank account. So then I realized I had, and as a Westerner, you have to have everything in all caps. So I had to put my last name. I think it was my last name, then my first name, then my middle name. So my last name was my first name, and then my last name was my first and middle name. So that was a little confusing, but navigating the actual program itself is super easy. And I'll just show you, Jared. So there's some cool stuff. So I told you about moments. So we have moments, then we have scan, and scan is scanning the QR code. And for all of our people on YouTube, you can see this right now. I'm holding my phone up. But so you have...
You're not going to put your QR code up for the people on YouTube to...
Definitely not. Nope. That's a terrible idea. If they searched on WeChat, they could honestly probably find me, though. It's not that difficult.
And then but then Chads floating around WeChat.
Dude, my friend found out there's another guy named Chad living in Jinan. What are the odds?
American guy?
British guy, but still.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to meet this guy. I know. Maybe have him on the pod.
Least like that would be great. Did you at least like try to find him on WeChat and friend him?
Oh, I should. So
there is the QR code, but you can also just do it old fashioned.
You can search. Yeah, you can search by name. Yeah.
Like Facebook, Instagram, all of the stuff I'm used to. You can either set your account to private or public. Can you do that here too on WeChat?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have the answer for you. I don't know. I haven't tried. I would assume that, like, I've seen that on your moments, you can definitely change the parameters.
Now, that would make sense. That definitely makes sense.
Yeah. Because some people have their moments set so you can only see, like, moments that were posted, like, 3 days ago. You can't see any that were posted before that. I don't have anything set up for that. Maybe I should, but I don't. Anyways, though, back to the Discover feature, which I think is the coolest feature of WeChat. And if any of our listeners out there are curious and end up downloading WeChat, I would say this is where all the cool stuff is. So obviously you have scan to scan QR codes and scan to translate. You also have this really interesting thing called shake. So the way this works is if I shake my phone, makes kind of like a shotgun sound, and then it says looking for people around you, and then you get matched with somebody, and you can start chatting with them. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like chat roulette.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
That would be huge in America. Why do we not have that here? Remember I told you, did I tell you about the concert I went to with all the airdrops happening?
No.
I went to a concert a couple weeks ago. And, I went to a concert. I can't believe I didn't tell you this. I went to a concert a couple weeks ago, and there was like, in between artists, I was Tyler the Creator. He was the headliner. In between artists, I looked around. My girlfriend, she got just a random meme airdrop to her. I have airdrop set to only contacts. So, but then I looked around me, and I looked. Everyone was getting airdrops and airdropping, and I saw people just going through, looking at their airdrop, and it was a concert hall, so there were a bunch of them, just clicking every single airdrop thing that showed up, sending pictures all around. Hilarious. I literally saw people 2 rows in front of me, airdropping people a row in front of me.
Oh, that's
but it was
funny.
all just random, and everyone was just airdropping everyone. And I was like, what is happening? And I was like, it makes perfect sense, too, because when you're in a giant concert hall like that, people don't usually have great signal, too.
Right.
But AirDrop doesn't need that kind of signal. So I was
Right.
like, it was crazy
Right.
just to watch that happening.
Oh, that is funny.
And that's kind of like so. I imagine something like that would be great because Shake is Shake
Right.
would work great here.
Also goes to show you though how much we use Apple products or iPhones in the States.
Yeah.
'Cause in China, I don't think Apple is definitely on the top. But then you have
What
the
are the
search
top
function.
phones here? Huawei.
Huawei. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely
Uh-huh.
number. I figured.
Yeah.
Samsung is big too.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'll have to ask my students. I'll have to ask my students about their favorite American food and the most popular mobile phones.
I'm sure. Yeah,
I'll ask
Yeah.
them, and they'll definitely be able to tell me. Then you have the search function, and the search function. I can't talk today apparently. The search function has moments, so I can search different moments. I can search articles, which I have not done before, but I'll have to try that out. And then you can search like official accounts. So like official businesses and like kind of like I think what we would have like a verified account in the States.
So are
that's what you'd
celebrities are big on WeChat too?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know any Chinese celebrities, so
Right.
But I'll have to ask my students about
Look
that
up
as well.
what was that? Oh, I have it written down somewhere. That rap group we
Higher
Boss,
Brothers?
was it? Higher Brothers, that's what it was. Yeah,
Higher. Oh, right here, Higher Brothers.
there you go.
Yeah,
Follow
right
them.
there. Higher Brothers official. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Interesting. So then, other than that, though, this is another cool function. Is you have search, then you also have people nearby. So I can search for people nearby, and then if you're a man, your icon is blue. If you're a woman, your icon is red. And I see pretty much only blue icons. I'm not surprised.
Shocker.
Right? But it even tells you how like it even tells you how far they are. So within 100
Yeah,
meters,
that's kind of creepy.
within 300 meters, you can look at their moments, you can message them. So yeah, and then
Those
other
people are
than
probably
that,
in your apartment complex.
right, probably. Then you have games and mini programs on here as well. I mean, the capabilities of this thing are amazing, dude. It's crazy. It is so crazy.
Does it have like Spotify-esque services? Like a music something?
So you can like embed stuff from other apps within it. So QQ is another big app here in China, and you use QQ they have like a QQ music app. You use QQ to send like documents and attachments and stuff. You can also do that within WeChat.
So you
Like,
can
I
use QQ in WeChat is what you're telling me. Like QQ is a separate app, but you can embed it into WeChat so you open it through WeChat.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I've gotten music from people on QQ. That's actually where the song, the Pompeia song from our last, I believe our last episode came from.
It's all
yeah.
a blur.
Yeah, and so that's pretty cool though that you can do that. The other nice thing is you also have what they call a sticker gallery, and stickers are basically like emojis, but most of them also
yes.
are GIFs. Yeah, and the stickers.
I'm familiar with those.
I have tons of stickers. Hold up, I wonder if there's a way where I can look at my stickers. Hold up, because you can search stickers, and there's tons and tons of different kinds of stickers on here.
Can I show you some of my favorite, or talk about some of my favorite? They don't call them emojis, I'm sure, but
Right, they're
what
called
looks like
stickers.
emojis. They have a fist like hitting into a hand,
Okay.
and they say it's like a common sign, like it's a kung fu like a sign of respect thing. So I think it's like
Oh, that's a good one.
They have the laughing with like giggling covering your mouth. Which is a very classic, like sort of laughing at someone. Their mad face is terrifying.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I love it because there's a lot. A lot of them are similar, obviously, to what we have here, but they still all look different. They all have like blushing and stuff is very common for them that we don't really have as much blushing.
Right.
What are some of your favorite stickers?
Well, I am a notorious sticker stealer. So whenever someone posts a funny sticker that I don't have, because you can you click and hold it, and then you can add it to your stickers. So I have like Leonardo DiCaprio from The Great Gatsby, where he like is doing the toast with the martini glass or the champagne glass. I have a couple really funny Teletubbies ones where they're like dancing.
So they're essentially GIFs.
They're gifts. Yeah.
Okay.
Not all of them are, but most of them are gifts. I have like a funny one where like this woman has her hand up and this cat like puts her paw up for like a high five. So I have that one. I have a bunch of random ones. I have some like Pokemon ones.
So these are gifts. Are memes big in China on WeChat?
They are. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I didn't know if that was
Yeah.
international.
Now, the crazy thing about these stickers, though, Jared, is you can take your own selfie stickers. So I can make myself a GIF and send it as a sticker. Like I could like do like a thumbs up, and that could be like a selfie sticker, for example. I could do like a wink. That would be a selfie sticker. Like a wave, blow a kiss, whatever you want.
So
the options are endless.
But so can you make it so there's no like you're like just a floating head and there's nothing behind you?
I think you can change the backgrounds behind you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want like if I were gonna make my own sticker, I would like it to be just my head and not just like
your room
my
behind
boring room behind me.
Right.
Fun fact: on the Lunar New Year in 2017, 16 billion stickers were sent, and also 56.5% of WeChat users use stickers.
Oh yeah, my students use stickers all the time, and I actually used WeChat a couple weeks ago in a class where I had them do an activity. The activity is you have the students draw. One student can see the picture, the other students can't see the picture, and so you have them draw, like describe using English the picture, so they draw it, right? And so I thought, you know what? One, I want to steal some stickers, and two, like I always my students. Most of them tend to enjoy it when they can use WeChat in class. So I had them do that. And so go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, please.
And so the funny thing about it was that I got to see the stickers and then I got to see them draw. And some of my students are really talented with drawing. I was really surprised. But yeah, stickers are super awesome.
Okay. So I have some questions for you on have you used this feature, and if so, I'd recommend it.
Okay.
Comparing prices. Did you know you could do that?
I did not know that, so no, I haven't used that.
Yeah, you can simply use the scan QR code function on the barcode of any domestic product to see a quick price comparison.
Idea. Okay. Wow, that's really useful. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Obviously, you know Quick Pay.
Yep.
Mobile
I've
account
used it.
mobile account top up. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you just add money to your phone account. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so like once it reaches a certain level.
Right.
Do you have any bills? Do you pay your utilities through WeChat?
I do. I pay my
is
electricity
crazy.
through WeChat. Yep. Yeah. So when I go to WeChat Pay, well, so the way you do it is you click Me, which is on the bottom right corner. Then you click WeChat Pay, and so there's like card repay, mobile top up.
Yeah.
A wealth. I'll need to explore that one. QQ coins, utilities.
What's
so I
red
click
packet?
on the red. I'll tell you about that in a moment. So then the utilities has gas, water, heat, phone, electricity, television.
Interesting. Phones counted as a utility.
Well, they have a picture of a mobile phone here. So I'm
And it's like to
assuming
pay your
that's what
phone
that
bill.
is. I think so. Yeah. All right. So you were asking, but then the other thing is, then you have provided by a third-party operator. So you have rail and flights, ride-hailing, specials, food delivery, movie tickets, local businesses, hotels, buy together, women's style, flash sales, used goods, and housing. All of this can be found on WeChat. And I have used like 1/3 of the capabilities probably of this.
I mean, nobody uses all of it, though. There's no way.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I guess that's fair. That's fair. It's that. Yeah, no, that's fair. And maybe I'm saying that because I'm so used to not having social media be necessary for so many things. Like the pay thing still kind of makes me uncomfortable. Like I could even do like Apple Pay on my phone, where you can go up to some of the machines and like tap your phone on it.
Right.
It really kind of makes me uncomfortable doing that for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm just like, what's the point? I don't know. Why do I need to put my credit card information in just one more spot? Even though, funny enough, Apple already has my credit card information.
Right.
So how am I avoiding anything? I don't know. So yeah, you were gonna talk about Red Packet because I got another one too. I'm curious about.
Yeah, so Red Packet is where you send it within a group or to a friend, and it's kind of like I don't really know how it works, but it's kind of like you gamble, and you get you don't get very much, but like you gamble, and the winner gets like, zero point 0.4 yuan or something
Now,
like
if I'm
that.
not mistaken, gambling's huge in China.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's 10-cent charity. Is that actually donating to a charity?
I've never used it, and I don't know where it goes
course you
to, so
haven't.
very good question.
Chad's very against donating to charities. What is edit aliases? What's that?
I would assume that would just be you edit your... Like, a lot of people have I have like an actual photo of myself.
Oh, you
but
can
I think
change
a lot of
the
people,
name of other people.
Right. Oh, that
I-
makes sense. That makes sense.
Do you have any group tags?
Group tags or group chats?
Group tags. Similar to edit alias function is the option to add a tag. Manually go through all of your contacts and add tags such as do not share party moments with and dear God, you called in sick
interesting.
yesterday. Don't let your bosses see that you were out.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I don't have that set up, but that's good to know, I guess.
Voice print. Have you used voice print?
No.
Next time you log into WeChat, don't bother remembering a password. Set up voice print instead to log in using a verbal resuscitation of digits to enable. But you never log out.
Right. Also true.
You can obviously track deliveries. That makes sense. Order food. You knew that. Have you ever used that one though?
Not yet. Not yet.
I noticed, by the way, you still don't have Wi-Fi. That has nothing to do with WeChat, but
Right. Still
I didn't
don't.
notice that. Have you ever sent
Hoping
a
to get it
postcard?
tomorrow. I have not.
Okay, because last episode you said you'll definitely have it by Tuesday.
Right. Because China, Jared. That's all I can say.
Do you track your steps?
I use the Apple health app for that.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so those are just some fun things. I love WeChat, by the way. I love
It's cool.
It makes me really wonder, I feel like we're really getting screwed over here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like there are some simple things that I think are so cool that I guess our social media is at least Facebook, you can do the pay thing.
Right.
But I wonder the fact that you can through this pay your bills and not
It's
just
pretty great.
your utilities bills and you can get a ride, you can order food. It's odd that why, well, I guess you know why. I bet you I have an answer for my own question. I think maybe because here it's the U.S. and we're such a capitalistic country. Well, still, this is not answering my question, but I'll say a lot of these big companies, their answer is to just buy that company.
Right.
Like Facebook owns Instagram and a whole bunch of other companies. But why wouldn't you then somehow integrate them into one thing?
Right. I think a lot of it comes down to money. I think here as well, the Chinese people, I hear this sentence over and over again. Before I got WeChat Pay, people were, oh, you need to get WeChat Pay. It's so convenient. I kept hearing it's so convenient. It's so convenient. You can order everything online. In theory here in China, you really don't have to leave your apartment unless you have to go to work. You can order fruit. You can order everything on either WeChat or Taobao, which is a very famous,
I've heard of that one too.
And I need to get that set up. That's the thing is I guess if I could go back when I first got here, I guess I would have been a bit more bugging people to have this stuff set up because it's almost November and I still don't have Taobao set up. I still don't have Wi-Fi. I have my router.
What do you? Well, that's a cool looking router box,
right?
What do you need to get Taobao?
Well, so Taobao. First of all, Taobao is all in Chinese, so I'm going to need a student. Taobao is you can order everything on there. You can order food, clothing, cleaning supplies.
Okay.
If you can think of it, you can
Amazon.
order it on there. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so I need to get that all set up when I'm in Beijing on Sunday. I should be able to hopefully get some of that set up. And yeah, so we'll see. But the one thing I wish I would have been more adamant about when I first got here was getting this stuff set up a bit more quickly because it just would have made my life a lot more convenient. I'm still using my hotspot on my phone.
I've noticed.
Yep. And so I'm trying to, hopefully. The problem is that everything as a foreigner here, takes longer. So when I go to get my Wi-Fi, I have to. When I went to go get my phone, and you would think when I got my SIM card, I could get my Wi-Fi right there because the Wi-Fi is through the phone company. Well, they said no. You have to go to the area where you live, and you have to go to a branch there. So that was the first step. Second step was we went to one. There's one right near where I live, like not even a 10-minute walk from my apartment. And they said, no, you need to go to a bigger store. We can't do that here. We can't process foreigners. So I have to go.
Stressing me out, Chad.
So now you know, Jared. So now I have to go to a different one.
Stressing me out.
That's a 20-minute cab ride away from my apartment. And I have to go there, and I have to bring my passport, my residency permit. I know my phone number by heart now, so that's not a problem. But you have to give them your phone number. And then there's another layer where I don't think I can set it up myself. So I also have to wait to get someone to come and set it up, which is also difficult because I'm out of town a lot for work. So, so yeah, it's been quite an adventure and a journey. But I knew that's what I was getting into when I came to China. So,
are there? Yes. The good thing about getting that ride to get your Wi-Fi is you can use WeChat to hail a cab.
Correct.
Are there any aspects of WeChat that is it all in English? Can you get it all in English? Are there any aspects
everything's
where
in
you're
English.
I can't really...
Well, so that's the interesting thing is like everything is in English that I need to access. But like when I go to pay for stuff, sometimes it will come up in Chinese. Like when I went to pay my electricity bill, it came up in Chinese. Thankfully, I was with a student of mine we went to the actual branch to get my paper invoice so I could be reimbursed for my electricity. And so the funny thing is that like I went to go I entered in my account number, and then I clicked like the thing that was in Chinese. It was obvious. It was like the green button you need to click. So I clicked it. And then like this other stuff came up in Chinese, and I was just like, And I held my phone up to my student, and then he like clicked a few things. But now I've paid it. I've paid it a few times, and so now I know how it works.
What to click. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dude, I'm going to... literally right now, I'm going back to try to re-download WeChat because I feel like I'm missing out.
It's cool. And then you can see my moments.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so I can be reminded of the great life you're living.
That's right.
Okay. Why are we slow to adopt technology to the level like China? Like, why don't we use Apple or like even things like, well, I guess Apple Pay, I guess you can even get that on like Android phones too. They have their version of that.
I'll tell you why, Jared. I think in the States, we are still a little scared and skeptical of technology. I think here they really embrace it.
I was going to say, that's fair because that's exactly what I said earlier today when I was, early in this episode when I was talking about getting a WeChat. I was kind of nervous.
Right. Well, and I don't have Apple Pay in the States, but I have WeChat Pay here. And I don't think twice about it here. But here, it's also, you kind of need it. Like you mentioned.
You don't need it here.
Right.
And there's still plenty of places here in the U.S. where Apple Pay won't work. Like, it's not universally accepted.
Right. Whereas WeChat Pay is either WeChat Pay or Alipay. If you have both, it's definitely universally accepted here. Like, one or the other will work.
I always considered us Americans to be the convenience champs.
But I think China's got us beat. Yeah.
I think so, too. And I'm sure China's not the only country that's using technology or like using their social media to this level, right?
Right. I don't know. That's a great question. You're asking all sorts of good ones I can't answer today, and I feel bad. But yeah, I'm not sure. The other nice thing, though, too, Jared, is you can also use WeChat on your laptop. So
I saw that. Yeah.
So that's how I will share like PowerPoints and documents with like students and teacher groups I'm in and stuff like that. So that's also super helpful.
So it also, to another level, removes the need for email because you can attach and send documents through. Interesting.
I mean, I'm trying to think of something that you can't do on WeChat, and nothing's coming to mind. Like you can literally do everything on this thing. You can pay, you can order stuff, you can like get what we would call like an Uber or a Lyft in the States, like a rideshare service.
You can book flights.
You can book flights. You can book trains.
You can buy a house.
You can buy a house. Yeah, like I said, WeChat is everything here in China. It is really amazing. And like I've had friends. Yeah. Go ahead.
Do they have like Well, now I know you can embed. What do you call it? Yozuka or Yoku or
Yuku?
the Yuku. There we go.
Uh-huh.
Are there videos on WeChat? Like, can you watch TV shows, for example, on WeChat, or is it that you can embed like Yuku or Yoku?
I would think you would
Jesus
embed
Christ,
the.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I would assume you can embed the link and you can watch it directly on WeChat. I would assume.
Right.
I've never done it before. I've seen people
Okay.
post videos as their moments, but that's a different thing as well. But I can tell you, I've definitely gotten messages where it's like a song from QQ Music, and I can listen to it directly on my WeChat app. And
Wow.
when I close WeChat, well, not close it, but if I like have the app running in the background on my phone, the music still plays. So it's pretty
That's
awesome.
great. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
The thing about I think another reason that we can't / don't adopt this as quickly in the U.S. is because here everything is so corporate.
Right.
Like there's Facebook, which is a giant corporate social media entity, and then there's Twitter, and like they're different companies, and like I'd be interested to know what it would take to get them to somehow merge their services into one, and you can, and it'll kind of be redundant then,
Right.
like it's so corporate here. And even though obviously some people are making money off of WeChat, it seems like and this is just my assumption of how I see it. It seems like the corporate aspect of that is not as important as the conveniences.
Right. I would agree with that.
Okay, that's all I was looking for you to
Yeah.
tell me you agreed with me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, WeChat's awesome. Check it out. There's so many amazing features.
You betcha.
When you get WeChat, Jared, I'll send you some of my favorite stickers.
Okay, I'm setting
we
it
can
up
talk
right
about
now,
them
and
in the next episodes.
I'm
Cool.
gonna send you my QR code soon.
Sweet. Sounds good. Just text it to me because then I should be able to scan it. Like I'll pull it up on my laptop and scan it with my phone.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, Jared, I think now it's time to talk about our song of the pod,
Yes, I love
which
this
is
song.
called Karate by the group Baby Metal, which I'm pretty sure they are from Japan. I mean, they're
Yes.
definitely singing in Japanese.
They're from Japan.
And I love this group because it's like in a way it shouldn't work. Like you have these like cute young, I would guess they're like 13 or 14 Japanese
Really? They're
girls.
that young?
I think so. Google it.
Oh,
Let me know
wow.
how old they are. They're pretty young. And so you have these like young Japanese girls in this like heavy metal band. And like to me, like they're so polar opposites. Like you have like heavy metal that's like dark and like heavy for lack of, how old are they?
One of them is what's her name? Suzuka Nakamoto is 21.
So I was nowhere close. Okay.
Mao
Nowhere close.
Kikuchi is 20.
Okay, so
I
nowhere
mean,
close.
they look 13 to be fair.
They look super young. Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're but yeah, no, still your point stands though.
Right.
I was just shocked if they would have been shocked if they were. But yeah, it is sort of an interesting juxtaposition.
Absolutely.
And like they have like a very like their voices don't seem conducive to metal.
But it sounds cool, doesn't it?
I love it. Yeah, and it fits perfectly. And it almost adds like a darkness in itself,
It does. Kind of like when
that
you watch a scary
juxtaposition.
movie and you have like a kid in the background singing like a
Yes.
nursery rhyme. Like that to me is
Or
super
it's like
creepy.
it should be cute, but in this
Right.
context, it's terrifying. I mean, they're not terrifying.
Exactly.
It's not that
Right.
extreme, but like
No. But it sounds cool. And I really
Yeah.
love the way their voices sound paired with like the heavy background metal music. Like the chorus I think sounds so cool.
Agree. Yes. And the way they go into the chorus is always like it's always like it's fun to go into the chorus.
Right.
I watched the music video because I'm a free man over here, and it was great. I showed my girlfriend. She says she thinks she might have liked the song more if she didn't see the video because it was kind of creepy.
Okay.
But it's just like there's just like these sort of dark characters.
Okay.
Actually they're not dark. They kind of look like a Game of Thrones character, I would
Okay.
say. And the music is also and then like they have like these great choreographed dances. I love the video too, and it's very like dark, very is it monochromatic colors is the word I'm looking for?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very cool. I loved it, and I love the song. And I've heard of them before. I've definitely heard of them before, but that's the first I'd ever like given it a serious listen to. And I'm glad you recommended that to me. And I just sent you a QR code. Your boy's about to be on WeChat.
All right. Sweet.
Although, wait, hold on. Find one or more current WeChat users who meet the conditions below. Signed up for WeChat over 1 month ago. If they're an international user, you're not an international user. Okay, you're good. Hasn't complained. Help friend register to. Hasn't completed help friend register for another user. You haven't done it for someone else, I assume. I said complain. I meant completed.
Nope.
Hasn't been blocked in the past month. Has activated WeChat Pay. All right, we're good. You got me. Woo!
Okay.
You can't stop me, WeChat.
All right. Hold. Wait a minute. Oh, this is weird. Enter the same card information as that entered in WeChat Me Wallet Payment Management. You don't have a... Oh, I just have to enter the name. Okay, so I'll enter your name. I'm trying this right now, Jared.
We're doing this live, people, because
right.
I've been blackballed from WeChat, and I will not stand for it.
All right. Oh, this is weird, though. You don't have a... Oh, this is real weird.
Should I
it says enter the
picture?
Enter the same name. Well, hold up. Enter the same name as that entered in WeChat Me Wallet Payment Management Real Name Authentication. But it's asking for an ID number. Last 4 digits on ID card. Wait, so should this be me?
I mean, I don't have...
Oh, no, wait. This is me. We're good.
It's definitely you, because I don't have...
This is me. Okay.
Whatever it is it's asking for.
Right. Okay, hold up. Okay. Keep going. I'm listening.
While we're doing this, we can do a Chinese and Spanish word of the pod. But then I just realized I didn't even find a Spanish word of the pod.
my Chinese word of the pod is Weishun, which is the Chinese version of WeChat. So nothing.
That's how they
special.
say it. Weishun.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let me. All right. So let's see here.
Mine. All right, that doesn't work. Yeah, sorry, I don't have one. But hey, listen, I live a rough life, people. This is hard for me. There's a lot going on. My Spanish word of the pod. Is
Didn't work, Jared.
redes sociales.
Which means
Social media.
I figured. Okay.
Why didn't it work? What happened?
It says I'm not entering in the right information. So now what I would suggest you do is you sign up again with a different phone number.
How about, could you take it to school today and have one of your students do it?
I can try.
Or
sure.
Is that not cool? Is that
I can try.
Am I gonna have the Chinese government come after me for even having this conversation? Listen, you got blackballed from WeChat. Accept it.
I think what would be easier would be to use a different phone number and start over again. But I can take this.
Yeah.
I can ask my students about this and see. So here, let me read this really quick. So sign up for WeChat.
Tell them, hey, I'm an American. They can be friends with me on WeChat. I know I'm like a celebrity over there. I get it. I'm popular.
Oh, that's
cool.
true. That is true. Has activated WeChat.
Granted, I'm
Pay.
black though. That can't help.
You never know. I
okay.
will. I'll give this. I'll send this to my. I'll text this to my Chinese phone, and then I'll ask my students today in class if they can help you out.
Thanks, Chad.
I bet you they will.
Appreciate it.
And you'll have some new friends. So be nice,
Okay.
Jared. Be nice.
I love having new friends. People love me. I'm friendly.
That's true. You are. Well, Jared.
One thing I wanted to ask you about WeChat as well. So it seemed like in general, like, here in the U.S., people have very, everyone's addicted to social media. But that doesn't mean everyone loves social media. Even the people that are addicted to it have very mixed feelings on it. How do your Chinese students or Chinese people you interact with generally feel about WeChat? Do they love it? Are they proud of it? Are they nervous? Do they have a problem with everything being in one? I guess why would they have a problem with convenience? But they love it.
I think so. I think everybody really likes it. I think so. Yeah. I don't know if I'd go as far as evangelize it, but they
don't have
definitely
to because everyone's already using it.
That's also true. That's true. Very true. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's really, really convenient and really useful. I think to wrap up today's episode, that is the key of WeChat, is that it is super convenient, super easy to connect people. And I think it's incredibly useful. Like if you come to China and you don't have WeChat, honestly, good luck.
home.
Like I don't know how you're going to be able to do it. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I'm trying to get my WeChat working so I can come visit you.
That's right. So I'll ask my students. It'll be like 2 a.m. for you. But I think we should be able to. Right. But I'll ask them. I think if they type in the information, they should be able to get you ready to go. So yeah.
Thank you.
So that's been our episode about WeChat. If there's any functionalities or other things you're curious about, let us know. Let us know on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast, Untranslatable Podcast. If you have questions and you're curious, let us know at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number 1, for all sorts of good tweets and fun stuff. And if you want to hear baby metal karate, check out our YouTube channel, Untranslatable Podcast,
betcha.
under the Song of the Pod playlist. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode about WeChat. Check it out. It's a really cool tool to use on your phone, a really great app, or APP, as they say here in China. PowerPoints are PPTs and apps are APPs.
They call them APP.
They do.
That's hilarious.
That's right. Are you down with APP? But anyways, so we hope this has been a useful episode for all of you out there. If you're curious about WeChat or if you're coming to visit mainland China in the near future. And as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, Yakuyame, muchas gracias, and xie xie.